morning, class. Before we get started on today's lesson, I would like to ask each of you what was the first thing that you did when you woke up this morning?
I went to the bathroom.
Went to the bathroom, okay. And what did you do next?
Brushed my teeth.
Brushed your teeth, awesome. And what is the last thing you did before you left your house?
Sneezed.
Sneezed, okay. So what we just did was we put in order the events of how our morning went, what we did in order. And that is a concept that we call sequencing. And good readers and writers sequence their events in a story to better comprehend. So today we're going to learn how to sequence. And right here we have the definition of sequence, which is the order in which events occur. And these are lists of words that we like to call transition words. And transition words are words that we use to signal the order in which events happen. So we have first, once, one time, to begin, in the beginning, then, next, later, second, after that, and finally, last, at last, in the end, and last but not least. And right here is an example of a timeline, and a timeline is a visual display of the sequence. So we use the timeline to put the events in order. So yesterday we read the word pop, the invention of bubble gum. And today I'm going to show you how I sequence events by reading the first 3 pages of the book. On a small street in Philadelphia in the 1920s, there was a factory owned by the Fleer family. So I'm going to pick one thing from this page and write it down. So I'm going to pick, there was a factory in Philadelphia. And I will keep reading. Inside the factory, lots of gum and candy were made. So on the second page, there was candy and gum made inside the factory. Okay. And on the third page, working upstairs was a young accountant named Walter Deemer. His job was to add numbers and balance budgets. He knew lots about math, but not much about gum. So from this page, let's see. Walter Deemer was an accountant. Okay, so I have 3 events that happened on the first 3 pages. Now I'm going to put them in order on our timeline. So the first thing that I remember that happened was that there was a factory in Philadelphia. So I'm going to place that right there on the first line. Let's see. The next thing that I remember was that candy and gum was made inside the factory. And the last thing that I remember from my book was that Walter Deemer was an accountant. So right there, I sequenced the order of events in the first 3 pages of the book so I can better comprehend what I read.
Alright, now that we watched Miss Marina place all the events in sequential order, I want to try them with you. So, since we already read the book yesterday, we will not read it again, but now place the key events in order. I already have them printed out, and I will hand them out randomly. So, here you go. Okay, I will take the first volunteer who thinks they have the first event in order. Go ahead.
Walter Deemer worked as an accountant in a candy and gum factory in the 1920s.
Very nice. That is the first event. Let's hang that on our timeline. Okay, I'll take the next volunteer who has the second event.
Gum had been around for centuries, but Walter's company wanted to make a new kind of gum that people could make bubbles with.
Very nice. That is what happened next. Okay. And does anyone have the third event or what they think is the third event?
His boss gave up trying to make new gum, but Walter did not.
Very nice. That is what happened following the last event. And how about the fourth event?
When Walter's boss asked him to watch over the new gum experiment, one day he ended up adding ingredients to it on his own.
Nice reading, and that is the next event. And who thinks they have the next one?
Walter tried many different times until he came up with the perfect pink bubble gum.
Awesome. And for the second to last event, who thinks they have that one?
He sold his gum at a store the day after Christmas, and it sold out in an afternoon. Bubblegum became an instant success.
Very nice. And finally, who thinks they have the last event?
Walter lived the rest of his life being happy that he created something for kids to enjoy all over the world.
Awesome. Now, can we look at these events one last time and confirm that that's the order that they happened? Yes.
Yes.
Very nice job.